Keeping a very close eye as Tropical Depression number 9 continues to strengthen and move through the Caribbean. South Florida is in the tail end of that cone. The track shows the storm moving toward Florida as Hurricane Hermine by early next week.
And we expect a new update on the storm's track in the next hour. We do have live team coverage with our reporters and meteorologists covering everything you need to know about the storm's track and how to prepare.
But of course, let's begin with our chief certified meteorologist, Betty Davis, in studio now with your tropical update. Betty.
Good afternoon. Tropical Depression 9, about 500 miles east-southeast of Kingston, Jamaica. Winds of 35 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 14 miles per hour, and it soon could be upgraded to a tropical storm. Still has to get its act together, though. It is forecast to be a tropical storm as it approaches Jamaica on Sunday, and then a hurricane as it approaches the Cayman Islands on Monday. We'll zoom in on this forecast track and really hone in on that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, because that is the time frame in which the Hurricane Center is showing the system coming off the northwestern side of Cuba and heading up somewhere in the vicinity of the southern Gulf of Mexico. Check out the intensity forecast. It is forecast to get a lot stronger, a Category 3 hurricane somewhere here right about the southern Gulf of Mexico. So clearly there is some uncertainty the farther out in time you go, but based on this forecast cone, it's one of those situations where we here in South Florida and the Keys definitely need to be thinking about our plan for early next week. The Keys may start to get some tropical storm force winds as early as Tuesday, depending on the track of the system. And even if the core, the eye, stays offshore, we know that the impacts from a tropical system can extend far away from the center of the actual storm. So this is the latest projected path. Of course, we too are looking at the track model guidance right along with you at home. And these models, of course, clustered close together, diverging somewhat, but these particular models are basically showing the same general trend, and that is taking this system near South Florida and the Keys around that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Let's bring in our hurricane specialist and storm surge expert, Michael Lowry. Michael, with these latest track guidance model runs, you anticipate any big changes in that forecast cone when we get the new update next hour?
Hey, Betty, I don't. The models really haven't changed appreciably today that we're seeing. Still a threat here to South Florida and something that we're going to need to keep a close eye to. Take a look at the visible satellite picture, and we're going to kind of step you through this afternoon. You can see right now what we're dealing with is a pretty disorganized system. We have a general spin of the clouds here, some convection to the west, but nothing organized yet. We haven't seen the convection sort of come together, coalesce, where you would see a developing system quite yet. It's because we have a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere. We have winds from the upper part of the atmosphere that are raining down from Fiona there to the northeast over what is our tropical depression. Now, where is this one going to head? Well, we have a few elements here that we're going to be tracking. We have high pressure steering to the northeast of this. That's going to push it off to the west. We have a dip in the jet stream that's coming along. It's expected to become tropical storm Hermine or Ian, more than likely Ian, because it looks like the disturbance there in the eastern Atlantic is going to become Hermine first. But that dip in the jet stream is going to pull on this system. It's going to bring it to the north, and that is going to bring it toward Florida. Now, there is some question on how sharply that turns, and that's what we're going to be watching here into next Monday and Tuesday. When you look at the track models right now, Betty, you were just asking about this, we have a wide spread in the models. We have a lot of models that are going toward the west, the southern Gulf of Mexico. We have some, and this is Monday, Tuesday of next week, that are headed toward Florida, toward the southeast part of Florida. Depending on where the center of this ultimately ends up is going to matter in terms of how quickly that jet stream pulls this toward the Florida Peninsula. Either way, it looks like the threat, certainly we're square in the threat here over the coming days, and something we're going to need to obviously closely follow with a strengthening storm. Also keep in mind that the tropical storm conditions could reach the southern Florida Peninsula as early as Tuesday. Make sure you have those evacuation plans in place just in case we are asked to evacuate.